and pledge to support all sequels for today, tomorrow, and into the great unknowable beyond.
Oh my god. that was a 10-minute video. That's a Stanley Parable too. I just noticed this entire time. Oh, by the way, here's a test achievement. Please ignore. The entire time I was under the aperture desk job category, which is fitting because it's another game about working a desk job. What is it, honey? I need you to stop that. Why are you on my pillow? Cut it out. Anyway. That's the merch. This t-shirt is the best new feature. I would honestly buy a shirt that says that. The red one. The end is never the end. Actually, it would just, you know. Give me some Stanley Parable merch. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. That's new. Hear your name in the game. Really? Where is this button?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh yeah?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's
what if my name was Jim?
To really simulate the full experience of this feature.
Okay.
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Okay.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush, that was you! The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Oh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense
Jim.
of who you actually are.
Jim.
No! I didn't know it was gonna sink into the ground. The two doors.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Epilogue. Let's do that last. Please no screenshots. Red is the new orange. The new updated ray traced more of the same but in a good way sequel. Ideas. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. Schween shaders. The baby is all grown up. It's leading to bankruptcy. Speaking to my soul. Hi, Amy. Thank you for joining us. Hold on, I have to grab the dog because she's crying at me. Alright, come here, you. Oh, gotta get the baby. What? Say hello to the baby. Here's the baby. Oh. You want to say next thing? Who's Amy? I'm Jim. Hello, Jim. Thank you for joining us, Jim. I just noticed. Oh, I thought all the ventilation was also a bunch of twos. Hello, Jim. Thank you for joining us, Jim. Come here, Jim. Sit over here. You don't want to sit? Okay. Baby, the baby. The baby. She doesn't want to sit in my lap. There you go. She sits right there. That's fine. Are you gonna be okay down there? She's like looking at me. You get to see their pee pad if I angle the camera down all the way. There's the baby. Do you just want baby cam? Here, let's do that. Let's do baby cam. Since she's gonna be joining me for the rest of the stream, probably. It's baby. Hi, baby. There you go. She's turned around. She's scared of the camera. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna die for her. Jump circle, infinite hole. The reassurance bucket. She's a scamp, this one. God damn it. She's a good baby. She needs lots of attention. She hates it when I'm not looking at her. Okay. Oh, baby. Ooh. Are you sleeping? Go to sleep. Little baby. Okay.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Okay.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I love the reflection on that bucket. Kind of impressive. I don't think that's real time, but it sure does look like it. Alright, we got a bucket. Look at her, she's falling asleep. She's not even lying down, she's like sat up. She's like standing on two legs, not standing, but you know what I mean, or she's like. She's also dangerously close. Look, her head is like slowly falling down. She's very tired, but she doesn't want to admit it. I don't want to like hit her head on the table though. I'm worried.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video
There
game?
she goes.
That really should be an award if it isn't already.
She's currently laying down on my arm. I'm so sorry, baby. Trying to get the camera lower so the people can see you. There. Okay. It's weird that there is like a physical in-game model for Stanley.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday, stepniece? Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Okay.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Should have known. New and easy achievement. Get it here. Where? Pull the lever. Receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. This looks like very final. There's also an epilogue over there. I want to see the jump circle first.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece.
Oh, no! I thought I got more jumps! Wait, where am I? Oh. Pull the lever, Kronk, yeah. I want to see the infinite hole. It won't end? Uh-oh. No screenshots. This is where I just was. Like the little model of Stanley up there. I would actually want to go to a building that looks like this. Is it weird for me that I enjoy walking around buildings that look like this? Is that weird? Like a museum type. Yeah, let's go look at the... Let's go get that achievement. Look how happy he is with his new achievement. Pull the lever, Jim.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken.
No.
I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
No. Give me the achievement. This machine. Pull me, please. It's so close. I want... Huh? Fine. Alright, let's go look at the infinity hole.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Mm-hmm. Educational use only. It just keeps going.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Should I go in the hole or should I go in the room titled Epilogue? There's a room all the way back there called Epilogue. And I feel like I know what that room is. But then again, it's all new shit, so I don't know. Jump circle, this map, free achievement, the button that says the name. Yeah, Epilogue. Wait, what? I like that it's a semicolon. Exit. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? It's part of the reason why I love Mirror's Edge is the same aesthetic. It's literally the only reason why.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh, never mind. It's not even a real room. I'm glad I went through it then. Settings World Champion. Alright. Collectibles. Can you find them? Collect them all. Whoa.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
I can't move. It's really hard. There's like a path. Jesus Christ. The creepy ass hands grabbing it. Uh-huh. There's 6 of them. Okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Can I collect this one? Alright, let's go down the infinity hole. I wanted to go up there, but the walkway's blocked off. Infinite hole! The sound coming out of it.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why? What happens if I don't? Is it actually not infinite?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on... Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Let's do that again.
Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again, so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
By the way, does the stream say that I'm playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? And is the title changed? Because I had it set to Aperture Desktop at the beginning of the stream and I forgot to change it. Okay. Now what? I don't think there is anything else for me to see. Besides falling down the hole again. Do you work yet? Achievement. The button that says Jim. That's Jim. I can't leave. Did they update the signs too? The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game, okay. Mostly infinite hole. Give me the free achievement, come on. You heard Jim in the game. I mean, if there's nothing else to do, I'm just gonna jump back in the hole again. Alright, time to go back in the hole.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow, okay, yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Return to the surface. It's just right there. Hold on, I'm gonna move the camera back. Say goodbye to the baby. This is how I play video games. Ugh. Okay. What? Oh.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Reassure me, Bucket. There's cigarettes at the bottom of the hole. Oh. Okay. I'm glad they didn't make me wait any longer, because I would have definitely hit the reset button.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine.
Oh, cool.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine. My head's stronger.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Yeah. It just happens again. Oh. It booted me.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features. Come now. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Okay. I had to try it. I know it's not gonna change. What's that even say? Nothing? Okay. Shouldn't have wasted my jump button. Whoa! Oh. Oh. I was like, secret? Oh, you just can't go back in there. Let's go back in the hole. No! Did I get stuck? Sometimes the game just lets you wander around, you know? Is the gym button back? No. I think that might be it. Besides that and the fucking 10-minute merch video. Or can I put the bucket back? I think I'm properly reassured. I like that you can just see the two coming out of this door. I don't know if that was intentional. Well, then I don't know what the fuck to do. Oh, exit. Yeah, I guess the exit. Yeah, let's leave. Forgot about this, actually. I'm glad I didn't.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I would honestly dig the game if it looked like this.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's potential here, right?
There's
It's
collectibles.
Sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
There's 36 jumps.
Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
This is exactly what I wanted. Actually, I wanted it to be called the Gym Parable. Look at that. It's doing some World Ends With You shit right there. Alright, I'll take it. If the thing just looked like this, I'd be fine with it. Press
This
A to
is the
skip.
story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company
The
in a
balloons.
big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
The balloons.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
The bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Forget what this was.
Good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Oh.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the adventure line? We could make the adventure line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Is it gonna play the music again like last time?
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yeah. Yeah!
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Are you gonna make me throw my companion bucket in the... Just have it be like the look exactly like the one from Portal?
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Oh.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Oh, there it is.
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
It didn't even reach all the way across. I guess it's not designed for the ultra wide because it just stopped right there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Huh.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Hey.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh,
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious. he exclaimed. "Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it." Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Uh-huh.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Oh, hey.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Oh. Oh my god. Is
Now
this a
then,
bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Okay.
Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Huh?
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
the game show music.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I think I'm seeing a trend here.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket.
Hey, I got one.
To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket? Correct.
What?
This is a bucket.
What?
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes, thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No.
Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket? Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go. All of his co-workers were gone. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Maybe we'll do this one last run. Oh. Trust the completionist instinct. There will be a reward for finding them all. Oh, look, it tells you where they are, huh? Near a fireplace, some are both red and blue. A large room, lots of boxes. Oh. Bottom text. We have to synergize our resources to ensure their retrieval. Not in the broom closet.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it worked. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Here? Yeah! Money in the morning, money.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay. What the fuck is that? Business strategy? That's a scary ass fucking painting. Okay. Is the narrator coming along to it? God damn it.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. "2845. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Oh,
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
are there actually 6 of them in the game? I assume there wouldn't be.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
The other dog is here too. And now, there's not enough space for all of us on this chair. There. Are you content with the choices? Now you can't even lie down. What are you gonna do now? Oh. Okay. We're gonna stick with that. Oh.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Can I just leave?
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
What about the number 3?
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. "Well," he said, "the number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life." Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
That's so cute. She's always so good to Coco. She's always like licking her. Coco's the older one. Like they were born on the same day, but Coco's the older one. Oh, aggressively she's cleaning her. Alright.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
God, they're both like...
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again? Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Doggy stream. Hello, Golden Vanguard. Thank you for joining us. Yes. Doggy's on stream. They're both sitting on my hand. I don't know how to show you, but this is the controller. It's Abby. Hi! Hi, Abby. Hello. This is Coco, and this one is Honey. Twins! They're actually quadruplets, but we gave away 2 of the dogs a long time ago. Oh no.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure,
Thanks
it
for
puts the mind
following.
and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of
Thank you,
ease
Golden
when you're about to be
Vanguard. Thank
crushed
you,
to
Abby.
death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
You finally get to see the dog choir.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
What? They're both? It's hard to move it around. I don't know how to explain this to you. How they're both literally on my hands as I'm trying to play the game. Right there. I don't know how to describe this to you. Can you get off my hands, please? Thanks. Christ. And I can't even just simply move my hand out of the way because the headphone wires that I have is like... You guys are both like... can't possibly be comfortable for either of you right now. Put the hands on top of the dogs. I mean, like, the headphone wires are, like, underneath the... Alright, get up. Get up. Get up, coconut. Okay. Satisfied? Okay. Go ahead. Go back to sleep. Whatever it is you were doing.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
They're both just kind of sitting on my lap, farting on me. Is that a eulogy for the bucket? The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you in the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Hold on. Oops. Oh, wait. Dang it. Okay. How was Freddy Fazbear's? Man, I gotta go back there tonight. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty quiet, but I did almost fall asleep.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
A photograph of 25 buckets? That's not 25 buckets, that's bullshit. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to as many buckets at once. You have so much room to pretend you're a news reporter, though. That's at least 25. I guess it's true. You have so much room to pretend you're a news reporter. What, at Freddy Fazbear's? The fucking Vitruvian Man. A bucket with 2 handles. It's depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Dozens are put to death just for attempting it. I guess that's true. I know for a fact tonight and tomorrow night, which yes, I have to come back again the night after that I'm gonna be with somebody, so missed my chance. I ended up not really doing much last night, like fun wise. I ended up having to because I have to do all the work that the other person would normally be doing, so not that it was a lot of work. It's just annoying to have to deal with. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring. Is it just you again? No. So ideally there's supposed to be someone with me every night at that location. But apparently the guy, I don't know how much I can talk about it, but apparently the guy had some sort of altercation with one of the staff members, and everyone just kind of agreed, yeah, we don't want him around. And I've never even met the guy, and not to judge a guy, not even by the cover of the book, but what everyone told me the cover of the book was, is very presumptuous of me, and I understand this, but listen, in a situation like that, I'd rather do everything on my own than have to deal with somebody temperamental. It drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one can control a bucket. Interesting. Is that a cave painting of a bucket? Well, we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind. The cave drill depicts early man's discovery of the practical use of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Crazy. Oh, and I can't even go back anymore. Oh wait, never mind, yes I can. The stress bucket. Stress is the level of water in the bucket. Vulnerability is the size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies as a whole. A spout. Where'd my bucket go? Give me back my bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Why is a chair in the corner of every room with a picture? What do you mean? Well, it's an office. You're right, there is an office chair there, you're right. What's an office? I don't know. Your office doesn't look like this? Tell me you don't got chairs in your office? That's too big. No, it's fine. The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes a necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Oh. Give me the bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
There was for a split
All
second.
of his co-workers were gone.
There was
What could it mean?
something in the caption.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Saving power. Yeah. Gotta turn off all the computers, you know what I mean?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait, where's my bucket?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It took its place as ruler? Oh man, you're right.
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic. Like a but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, look. Oh, look. Yes.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last
I
one.
like it's different every
And
time.
then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Is that what Stanley looks like? I think so. Like the model for the body is just generic man wearing like a white collar shirt. Alright, how the fuck do I think I just die now. I think I just... Oh, is there a place for me to get back over there? Oh, hey. Is that the narrator? No, that's what Stanley's supposed to look like. Whoa, this is different.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
Wow.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
I like that the balloons are still around.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Figurine Finder's gonna be meeting today in the meeting room. Hey, the bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
It's a room that's both red and blue. Can you throw it? No, I can't do anything with it. No, there's the one button is interact and crouch.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Why would I throw my best friend the bucket? Escape Purgatory, break the glass. Some are both red and blue. Alright, let's try to find that last figurine. Some are both red and blue.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Blue stairs, red. Huh, you're right.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe he thought to himself. Maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just...
But I already done this one. Oh my god, I forgot the sequel.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Don't like that.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's see what happens if I do the intended ending.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked
Maybe it's
upstairs to the
not blue
boss's
enough.
office.
Maybe I'm looking for somewhere purple, you know?
Stepping in.
Dang, yeah. I can't imagine this, they never considered this yet because it was such a known glitch at the time. I guess it is. Oh, really? I fully expected this to be... So this is a glitch in the first one where you basically walk outside of the manager's office. Before, like, the door closes in. It's supposed to close in behind you, but you can slip in behind it. I'm surprised that they didn't add anything to that, considering the nature of this game. You're stuck forever, and well, until I reset it. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, why not? Let's do the main ending. I never noticed that there's like a hole inside it. Not a hole, but rather this thing is see-through.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Oh no, the bucket goes away. Oh, never mind.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Oh yeah, there's like buttons in this room. Shit, how do I get up there? No? They're like numbered. Is there really just not a way to get up there? I guess not. Maybe you have to do something to open the gate first, or do the buttons open the gate. Well, there's a button on top of where the gates would be. You see that? You see that white looking square off in the distance? There's a button in there. So I was thinking maybe there was a button I could press. Well, let's see. 3. There's 1, 2. Where'd it go? Where'd the other one go? I just saw it. There it is. 3. I assume that says 4 up there. I just can't see it. And actually, well, yeah, no. The stairs would lead up to it. It's closed. I have no idea. Oh well.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Silly birds.
Silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Uh-huh.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility.
This
at
is
all.
good.
It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Is the bird ending?
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this no? Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I don't know why you guys are trying to fight jockey for position in a chair meant for one person. You can't house all three of us. What are you gonna do? Listen. No, they can fit. Listen, if I could stay like this forever, I would. It's not feasible. Just stack them on top of each other. They kind of have to be. Look, one of them is kind of on top of each other already.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
What dark room? And the thing is, they just want to keep getting closer and closer to me, but there's no physical way we can be closer. This dark room? Oh.
Now pick up the phone,
said the bucket.
pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
What a cute little house. I want my Final Fantasy XIV house to look just like this. Very nice. Wow. You got married to the bucket? I mean, I guess so. I guess I did. Marriage ending? It's not really anything for me to click on in here, though. I like it when they kind of just fall into a place where they want to lie down, and they just kind of slowly put their heads down, and but then as they're doing it, because there's no space for us to sit, the rest of their body just kind of like slides away from the position they want. They just gotta get back up again. It's not comfortable here. That's a cool poster. I guess I got married to the bucket. Do they sleep with you? Yeah. Well, sometimes. They usually with my mom. This one likes to sleep, like, right next to me. And this one likes to sleep either between my legs or, like, as far away from me as possible. But this one likes to, like, lay on top of you when she sleeps. I guess this is it.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
It's very Portal-y, the bucket. Can't turn it off. Oh, hey. You had a job like this before? The bucket or the office? You went crazy? The office? Oh, okay. I'm sure that getting stuck in one place for any extended period of time would drive anybody mad. Unless you find the thing that you genuinely love. I think human beings are smart enough to know what it is that they like and dislike. Not me in my room though? Yeah, I mean, yeah. If I could, my domain, yeah. Is this it? I keep forgetting that it's a sequel now. How am I gonna get a Monster Hunter job? I mean... Take enough pills and go into the woods. Pay a man to dress up as a Rathalos and hunt him. That's what they did in the olden days. The most dangerous game of all. Velstrax. Homicide? Yeah. Yeah. See, the game is called Monster Hunter, but who's the real monster all along? Is this it?
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Where's my bucket? No.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Leaning by Coco. Don't show your butt to the camera like that. It just looks rude. Are you trying to jump off? Oh. Oh. Alright. This isn't that kind of stream, yeah. Oh, yeah, no. You have to go to a different live stream for that. There you go. Right. Get off me. Oh, Jesus Christ, my legs. My legs and my butt. Getting shoved in the back of an office chair. It's me now. I know it's not nearly as exciting as a dog, but I'm sorry.
You see, he's not listening.
I finally get to see what you look like. Oh my god, have I never really pointed the camera after years?
He trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. His stupid hunk of metal.
It's been decades. Did I never really point the camera at my face when you showed up on stream? I guess it was focused on the dogs, huh? Yeah, no, this is what I look like. I'm sorry.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
This is the first time I've caught a stream. Oh. Well, welcome in. I stream a lot of FF14. You don't Twitch as much because I can never usually watch them. I mean, I actually, if not for playing Monster Hunter or 14, I would honestly be streaming at that time. Actually, that was when I used to. That would be the time that I used to stream 14.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
That's actually the time when Jaden used to stream. I don't think he streams at midnight though, but he used to stream Monster Hunter.
Oh, Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. Oh, no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
It's getting romantic in here. Oh no! Is this what falling in love feels like? Yeah, exactly what it feels like, actually. It's every day of my life.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
Oh no. I died. At least I have my bucket with me. He killed you for a bucket? Oh! Oh! What is this? Welcome, Stanley, to heaven! Now he really died, yeah, but, oh, they just get unpressed! No, I can't possibly hit all the buttons in time. No. This is cruel. I need to press all the buttons. What the fuck? Oh, and look at that. I can just go back to it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Dang it. Hold on.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps the bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Let's see. How are you still awake and functioning? What do you mean?
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
I feel like this is gonna be the same. By a fireplace was one of them, I think. You had work till 8? Yeah, 8 in the morning. I took a nap.
Your friends and I are concerned.
It's nighttime now, right?
We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. the bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
It's 7
I
p.m.
know
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's
the
what
one
I
who
thought.
gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, that's what... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
La 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 la.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Usually what I try to do is I try to screw up my
Don't
sleep
you get
schedule
it, Stanley?
backwards.
We need to get rid of the
But
bucket. That's why
it
I'm
never
very
really
proud
truly
to
works out. I
introduce
forgot to
a
take
brand new character.
I forgot to take my
This is the
my
Bucket
sleep
Destroyer.
pills as soon as I got home. I mean, I ended up falling asleep anyway.
I
but
think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
it looks at
Now
me.
listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket.
You can't, you're
Destroying
married.
buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley
kill
Parable
wife.
characters? Well, you see, if you were to really
Regret.
explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10
They literally won't let
personality
me.
traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The
Ooh.
Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Damn. There it is again. Yeah, look, this is where you'll see that this game wasn't really meant to work in widescreen because it just kind of stops right there at the end of it.
My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
It just kind of stops. Oh, okay, look, they made it disappear. I want to find that last figurine before I sign
All
off,
this
but I don't
code
know
was
a room
What
that
did
is
it
both
mean?
red and blue.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A room that is both red and
When
blue.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
There are too many colored rooms. There's only one room I can think of that is both. Why am I having such a hard time saying the word both? That is both red and blue. Somewhere purple? I can't remember encountering a purple room. Let's mitigate this. You know, I think this game is also too new because it literally just came out today, that I don't think that anybody knows what this is about. Or how to get to it.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
This is nice.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Just reminded me of how when I played Elden Ring in the very
Coming
first...
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Maybe it'll be different if I don't have the bucket.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My
Hello.
life is normal.
Who is that? Is that
I am normal.
Professor Goodwood?
Everything
What
will
is
be
that
fine.
emoji supposed to be?
I am okay.
Is that Andrea Botes?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Again?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed,
Oh.
gathered her belongings, and walked to her place. of
Except
work.
she's not holding a
But on this
bucket. Okay.
particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
This looks like it was made in
And at that
Half-Life.
moment,
It was.
She thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
It was made in the Source engine. I'm trying really hard to not look at all the other endings, but also trying to figure out how to get that last collectible. And I don't think anybody knows where it is.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You look too? Yeah. I can't find it. Ain't no way. Maybe that's the trick. Maybe there is no purple room. And grab my bucket.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket.
Unless it requires you to do another ending in order to find it. Can't imagine it would.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Okay. Let's not pick up the bucket. Or should we?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It was okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Like, I don't think there is a reward, but I'm just curious. 5 there be, just take it from me. Yeah, I found 5. Tell me there's actually... Who is that gnome supposed to be? Red room? Yeah. Follow clues provided by employee 416. Figlies. Hold on. Apparently it's its own ending. Yeah, I don't know. Getting all the figures is an ending, or the one figure is an ending. Apparently collecting all 6 figures and then doing an ending is an ending. But I don't know where that room is. I don't know. Every single result I get is people explaining that there is an ending, but not explaining what the ending is. I have an idea.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
You think this is where I want to go?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Ooh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
I think I went the wrong way, but this is a new ending.
All of his
Quote new.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I like that there's a door here behind the chairs. You know what this looks like? This looks like the back rooms. Yeah, the back rooms. Where's the monster? Is there a monster in the back rooms? I always just thought it was just the room.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can
I don't
promise
mind
you there definitely was a story here before.
Just another guy.
Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Yay.
Oh, no. I don't feel right about this at all. We both know we didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a
The silly
solution.
parable
This
too.
time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
This is from the first game. Or the original, rather.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
La, 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 la.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
That poor guy's trying his best.
Now,
He really is.
Yes, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay,
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
The confusion ending. Deviate from maintenance room, end up in the monitor room. Narrator restarts the game. Discover the 2 doors room now has many additional doors. Aimless wandering. Narrator restarts the game. Dead end. Turn around, find another dead end. End up in another building. Restart. Adventure line. 4th restart. Adventure into unexplored territory. Stanley attempts to play the story but is prevented, unable to go anywhere or do anything. The game restarts on its own. Find the line again. Begin following the line. Find an identical replica of the office that has begun to deteriorate. Attempt to make up a story here. There is no longer an office, simply black space. Wander into blackness. Find a bookstore. Get bored and leave. The narrator is gone. After a long time, Stanley dies.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know?
Oh, hi!
Will someone come for us?
Hey, you
Will something
made it.
happen?
Hello.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll
My
find
friend
out,
just
won't
forced
we?
me to play this and I don't
Eventually.
understand. I miss my bucket.
Well,
I miss
in
my
the
bucket
meantime,
too.
if you
I also miss my bucket. I hope now I get my bucket back.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
I wonder if there's actually somebody there. I think I went to... Look, there's my bucket. Got my bucket back. I think maybe I need to do that other ending again to get the red and blue room again. I went down the wrong way. I think I meant to follow it all the way
Stanley
until...
came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
How's it going? It's going...
It was
I'm a
okay.
little hungry, if I'm being honest. Bucket is Ali
But
say.
eager to get back to business,
Or bucket's
Stanley
bread
took
and
the
Ali
first
say.
open door
Listen.
on his left.
You listen to me, I will not tolerate any
Stanley was so
slander
bad at following
on
directions,
Best Girl
it's incredible he wasn't fired years
in
ago.
my stream.
Look, Stanley,
I
think
wonder if there's a
perhaps
way
we've
for me to
gotten
get
off
down
on the
there.
wrong
There
foot
has to be a
here.
way.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
No. Here it is.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Is there a
Stanley walked
collectible
through
here?
the red door.
There it is! Look, I found it!
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
Okay.
Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done.
All the
is its
Stiggly
own
Wigglies,
reward.
thank you.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Yay. Should we do the other ending again?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't
Peace
even
at
finished
last.
building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I'd written
Stanley's
out
such a good listener, should be my
specifically for you?
therapist.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that?
Hey, man.
Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what
Trying to
you wanted
forge
see.
my own
Help
path
me
out
here,
into the
Stanley. Help
world.
elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ah, yes, the Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Where are you in this list, Angel? A dead rat, and that's me.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game,
yes.
the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
apparently someone like made it so that
Heartless
they basically
bastard.
sped through the
Did
game,
you do it because
and
you
they
hate
made it so that they
babies, or
played the game
purely
for 4 hours,
despite
and
me?
the only thing that happens is
Because
it gets
for now,
faster
I
and
don't know what
faster.
to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
I wish it booted up Minecraft like the old one. Yeah, boots up Firewatch now, which I think is still really funny.
About, Stanley?
But
what's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man, spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of
What the
total
fuck?
mental
Yeah.
depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley.
well, you
And it
never
seems
played
that even
Firewatch
more.
before?
Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
I really definitely do want to play this game though. I'm pretty sure I have it, so maybe I'll do that. You hated Firewatch? What's wrong with Firewatch? Wasn't the story of Firewatch sad? I don't know, I never played it. What's wrong with Firewatch?
Oh no. No.
I know it's one of those walking simulators.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley.
It's not your thing, was bored the whole time.
Get us out of here. Let's find another
I
game.
tend to like
Preferably
myself a
something
good
with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Oh, right. And I threw myself into the thing here.
I think this is just the thing.
I tend to like what do you like Rocket League better?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be
Rocket
phenomenally
League.
impressed.
Never played it. I have it if you want to play it. But it's
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
Firewatch is just like
There are
one
lots
of those
cars here in the
narrative
back, but
walking
obviously there's no
simulators. Where's the
racetrack.
ball?
Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind
Funny
back
you
here.
should mention.
Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
There it is. There's the ball.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Bonus balls.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
I wonder. Because I did this before already, but I don't think you guys saw what happened. Well. Okay.
Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't.
Now I'm in The Last of Us. I forgot how to get out of here.
I wonder what he found.
Oh.
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Oh!
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figures.
There it
I
is.
haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Gonna head back to 14, have fun. Thank you, I appreciate you stopping by. Have fun. I think I'm gonna log on there in a little bit just to do my dailies. But thank you, I appreciate you coming by. When Stanley found the collectibles. There you go. Perfect way to end stream with the figlies. Here it is. Oh, and there's a new section down here now, huh? Oh.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
It's so ominous. Some Elden Ring shit. He kind of looks like that. It's just that he looks like a Half-Life 2 asset. 7? Excuse me? The Tarnished, yeah. It's the Elden Ring. Oh.
And here was a second Stanley. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me.
You know, it's
in all
funny, as
sorts
soon
of
as I found that last one, I was
mundane,
just looking it up, and there
unremarkable
was a
ways.
guide to find all 6 figurines. So I'll say that I wanted to cheat, and it wouldn't let me.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
It was in the bathroom. Yeah.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
To be fair, I was able to find 5 of them. When it said red and blue room, that was the first place that I thought of, was the room with
Let's
the
see. What came
red and
next?
blue door. I just couldn't remember how to get to it. What is this?
Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
No, we
Well,
didn't.
I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Yay, 10 out of 6. Okay. The purple room. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. Yes, and there was one here.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
What the fuck? It's at 480p. Oh no. No joke, I had it. Back when I used to make stop motion videos. There you go with the credits and everything. Yup, exactly.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Huh? What was that? This looks like the Beginner's Guide, which is another game by Crows. That one's also really good, just narratively.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the Final Figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
That's cool that they
Who
would
can
do
truly
it like
say how the mind
change
works?
it. Like,
all I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
huh. That's weird. Oh. Ooh, look at that.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but
Oh!
move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
It says you are in the past.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards.
We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction.
past.
See how that feels.
Okay. Alright. Get more figurines. Heck yeah.
Okay, yes. The room with the red and
Yeah.
blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
More.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we
Are we gonna watch it again?
Yes, I love that video.
Oh, it's so dumb. Oh my god.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
What was it supposed to be? I don't know what this is supposed to be, because I just collected I want the one from the museum, the one from the toilet, the one from the red and blue room. I don't know where the last two. Oh, that one from the warehouse. I don't remember what the sixth one was supposed to be at all.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know,
Yay.
if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Oh. Well, no, there was one underneath the staircase. Right. So how did I only collect...
This was our second Figley. Don't you
Yeah.
remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
I definitely don't remember where that pink room is supposed to be then. That feels fake. Because I remember the very first one.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Museum? Well, no, that was... Yeah, this was the one from the museum. Here. That was the first one that I got. And I only collected 6 of them. The one here, the one underneath the staircase. Now I can't remember any of them. What the fuck?
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were
Bathroom,
originally
blue and
sold
red
on.
room, right?
I
Yeah,
remember
yes.
hating it back then.
And
Time does put a rosy filter on
museum
everything.
underneath the staircase, the
In fact,
bathroom,
I
the blue,
dare say
the blue
I'm
and the red
actually
room.
quite
There
fond of
was
it now.
the one by the
Look how much
boxes.
fun the past is. I want more memories.
I can't remember where that 6th one was supposed to be. Oh, are you talking about the bucket museum? Was there one over there? I don't remember. I still can't jump. This is starting to unravel. This reminds me of what's that one game with the Superliminal. This is starting to remind me of Superliminal.
Oh, yes, the 2 doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office.
That's a good game too. It was.
Is there anything else?
Gives me a
Was there
headache.
something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Have you ever
Can
tried
you
playing
remember?
Whatever Happened to Edith Finch? That one's a bit more straightforward, but I
Yes,
like that one too.
I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness.
That was
then
sad, it sure
somewhere
was.
along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Have you played The Last Day of June? That was surprising. It sounds very familiar, but I don't recall. I know I definitely didn't, but I have no idea what it's about. But I'll check it out. How about we do just one more run, listening to what the narrator says, and then we'll call it. 'Cause I gotta eat.
All of his co-workers
Hungry,
were
I
gone.
haven't eaten all day.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's still the sequel.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What's another one that I've played? I feel like out of all the walking simulators, Edith Finch is still my favorite. A Gone Home is pretty good. Reboot the game entirely?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Methinks, gotta do it. Okay, you're right. Reboot the game. I like this menu though. I like this menu. Alright. Reboot the game, it says. Gone Home was also sad to me. I think that I didn't connect to it as much as, I did play that before I played, Edith Finch. Dang, I've been playing this game for a while. Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. Thank you. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and sync the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to that video game now. Okay. I wonder if that's part of the ending, or if that was because I actually genuinely did that. The Stanley Parable 2. I think it's really funny. I'll take it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Welcome back. I got an achievement. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, fine. Let's not fuck around this time.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh, I remember now. It was behind here in this area where that collectible was.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
It was back here. It was right over here. Instead of going into the elevator, I went over there.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
All right. I think we're gonna call it there. Got all the figlies. Got the bucket. Where's my bucket? Let's make sure I have my bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent.
Got my
Stanley
bucket.
checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Anyway, I am gonna go eat something, and then go to work. But yes, thank you so much for joining stream. Thank you, Abby, and thank you, Angel. I know she's gone now, but thank you, Angel, for joining us also. If you missed any part of the stream, it is gonna get uploaded on YouTube at some point in the night. It's gonna be like a 5-hour video. I'm thinking of maybe it's splitting it up, maybe. But we'll see. But yes, if you miss any part of the stream, check it out on YouTube, youtube.com/Soramoto. Link is in my Twitch bio, same as my Twitter, twitter.com/Soramoto if you want to be notified of any streams that I'm about to do. Also, if you want to contact me for anything, if you have any stream suggestions, contact me on there. Also, I have a giveaway I'm planning on Twitch. Basically, all you have to do is follow me, and you'll get entered into a drawing for a game. Whenever that occurs. But other than that, one last thing, I guess. Buy a shirt. Buy this shirt specifically. store.streamelements.com/Soramoto. Look, it's got my dog on it. And a mug. The mug is super cute. I like the mug. It's nice. They make pretty decent mugs. But anyway, that's all I've got. That's all I've got for today. I'll try to stream something else before the end of the week. I might check out that game that you said, Abby, Last Day of June. Is that on Steam? If it is, I'll look into it. But other than that, I'm still working myself through post-patch Shadowbringers, so it's gonna be a little while before another Final Fantasy stream. It's $20. It's about to be Friday soon. Get a little bit of money, but yeah, I'll check it out. I'll see what that looks into. I did also download a game called Far Changing Tides, and from my understanding, it is 2D Subnautica. And it looks neat. But anyway, that's it for me. Check out the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. It is also on Steam for $25. If you have the original copy of the Stanley Parable, it is $16. That sounds cool. Yeah, I might do Far. It's just that whenever I look at one of these streams, I'm not sure when to stop. Evident by the fact that I've been streaming for like 5 hours. So I don't know. But we'll see how that goes. I might take a look at it before I stream it, but I'm not sure. Play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of a Tuesday. Of course, they would release it on a Wednesday, just so that you have to wait for it. But yes, super go outside. There's also hold on. If you go to my library, the original Stanley Parable, where you're not supposed to play the game for 5 years. And I don't think I played this game. Yeah, I don't think I played this game for 6 years. Yeah, last played June 29, 2016. It's not installed in my thing. I would honestly do it right now if I had it installed, but I didn't. But I don't have it installed, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, yeah, I'm out. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until next time, stay safe, take care, and peace out. Bye-bye.